Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack and Nicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. Not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at Just Saying, no G, WJS for article and video updates. Week 18 continues, buddy. Let's jump right into it. When the Washington football team makes their way to New York to face the Giants, Jake Fromm is getting the start over Mike Glennon. What are your thoughts going to this game? Both teams are eliminated. Nothing really means anything to them if they win or lose. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is just an opportunity for, Jake Fromm to prove that he's can still play at the NFL level. Last time, we saw him against the Eagles. Not super pretty from him. Definitely want to see them kind of, build on something. Joe Judge says that he's building on something. I'd like to see that this game, just, some creativity with the offense. A lot of injuries for the Giants and for the football team this year, but I mean, it's tough. Taylor Heinicke is having a great season. He's not just like a flash in the pan quarterback. I think he's very solid. He's right now, he's got a 20 and 15 interception ratio. And I think that he's doing excellent. I think that this Washington team can get it done. No Antonio Gibson for them, but, Terry McLaurin's going to be out there. I think he's going to have a good time this week.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I'm just going to say the Giants are going to win because I really want you guys to win. And ending the season on a win is always a huge thing when your team is not in the playoff contention and that it wasn't the outcome everyone expected. And for fun, because these a lot of these games are not super difficult. I'm just going to make some intense hot takes. Saquon Barkley rushing touchdown.
Nice.
I think he's getting in there. And I'm also going to say Kenny G gets his first touchdown as a New York Giant and his lone touchdown of the season this weekend. Thanks, courtesy of Jake Fromm, who everyone was expecting to be the starting quarterback of Week 18 for the New York Football Giants.
And without Daniel Jones, I have given Daniel Jones slack, but you look at what he's able to do and what this team does when he's not there. I will take him in that situation. I mean, the Giants right now, last week, Mike Glennon, -10 passing yards. He literally, could have spent the whole game kneeing it, throwing it backwards 10 yards one time. Like, that is beyond to me. Right now they're only scoring 15 points a game on the season. They got to look forward. They're playing at home, so they got to do this one for the fans. I'm going to go with the Giants too.
All right. I love it. Moving on. We have the Cincinnati Bengals making their way to Cleveland to take on the Browns. No Baker Mayfield in this one. He's had tons of injuries. They're sitting him in this one. He's going to get some surgery. Case Keenum is going to be in. Joe Burrow also sitting in this one. Totally healthy. He's all good. They just want to rest him in time for the playoffs, but Joe Mixon did test positive for COVID-19, will not be in this one. Break down this game for us. We see that the Bengals are kind of resting their guys, it looks like, trying to stay healthy, getting ready for this deep playoff push they're hoping for.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago, it was very interesting to just see this Bengals team and the Browns team in Week 9. The Browns beat them, 41-16. They were both 5-4 at that time. Now with the Browns, with these injuries that you mentioned, just Baker Mayfield. The Browns are 7-9, Bengals 10-6. They are going to the playoffs. The Kansas and beating Kansas City last week proved a lot for them. Going into this playoff run. But, wow, I would expect this was something we could have had as an NFC North, divisional crown matchup at the end of the year.
Yeah, Browns had a rough season, a lot of injuries throughout the entire year. Their offense just didn't look the same. And a lot of the injuries, honestly, both Chubb and Hunt were out for big stretches during the season, which is tough because they are a run-first offense. Obviously the OBJ trade and all that kind of stuff. I'll go with the Bengals on this one. I just think that they're going to have enough of their starters in. They'll get the win. Case Keenum wasn't super flashy in his lone game as the starter and stuff like that. But you're hoping if you're the Browns, you walk away with the win just to sort of, leave something. They made their first playoff run last year. Everyone was expecting them to redo it. Their defense is so great. Their offense has all this potential and just didn't click this year, and that sucks. So I'll still go with the Bengals, but hoping for the best for the Browns.
Yeah, Bengals, even with Brandon Allen, I think, without any Baker Mayfield, it doesn't help them either. This is not going to be the prettiest game, especially with no Joe Mixon, but, wow, the Bengals, they are a good team, very solid, fifth highest scoring offense. They have a great scheme. Definitely got to go with them here, on the road. So going with them.
I love it. Moving on, another AFC showdown when the Pittsburgh Steelers make their way to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Now, These teams aren't eliminated just yet from the playoffs. Either one of them would need to win, and then they would need both all of the, I believe it's the Raiders, the Colts, and the Chargers to all lose to then make it to the playoffs. So they need a lot to go their way. But there is some playoff implications in this game. What are your thoughts in this AFC North showdown? Tyler Huntley's also in.
Yeah, and Tyler Huntley in, Pittsburgh, I think this could be, Big Ben's last game if they lose. I would like to see them win. I don't know if the Steelers team, is ready for the playoffs, but, a lot of great storylines in this. As you mentioned, Tyler Huntley starting, him getting a win here would be, just great for him. I would love to see, Najee Harris just continue to do what he did. He had 188 yards on 28 carries last week. He's just had an absolutely great season. I think both of these teams are going to come at each other hard. They know each other very well, and these games usually are, playoff implication games, late Baltimore, Pittsburgh, rivalry games, things that you want to see. I would like to see TJ Watt maybe, get 2 sacks this week so that he's able to pass Mike Strahan's record. Even though Strahan did it in 16 games, it would still be a very cool thing to see in this game.
Yep, I think any records that are broken in this 18th week, gotta put an asterisk next to it. Not that it wasn't achieved, but just that Strahan did do it in 16 games. 21 and a half and 16 is really impressive, by the way, that TJ Watt put together. I'm gonna go with the Steelers in this game. I think TJ Watt is gonna end up breaking the record in that one, and I just think that it's Big Ben's last season. He just had his last home game last week. What a way would it be for him to just walk out there into Baltimore against an AFC North division opponent, gets a win, ruins their playoff chances, and regardless of whether or not they even make the playoffs, just to walk off with a win against a division opponent like that would be so great for the ending chapter to Big Ben's NFL career. So for me, I'm going to go with the Steelers because I want a little bit of magic to happen for Ben and for a record to be broken in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, the Ravens, they got flashy players on their offense. Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown killing it this year. Steelers on the road. Like you said, this is the narrative for Big Ben. He goes and beats the Browns at home. He goes and beats the Ravens in Baltimore. I think it would be a hell of a story.
Yeah, I love it. All right, moving on. NFC North showdown when the Green Bay Packers make their way to Detroit to face the Lions. Now, Aaron Rodgers is expected to play in this game. I think it seems like what Matt LaFleur was talking about was that he just kind of wants to keep his momentum going, keep everything going. Yeah. And if they win this game, they for sure can lock in their first seed, get home field advantage like they did last year. And then they get that rest week in between anyway. I'm going to lock in the Packers immediately off of this one. They absolutely destroyed my Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Tough to watch. I said is Sean Mannion's crap, and he was crap. So I'm going to lock in the Packers. They just are coming off a huge win, and then they'll do the same to the Lions, who might or may not have in Jared Goff.
Yeah, and we saw these teams face off, earlier this year, just in week 2 after the Packers had a rough start to the year with the Saints. And, then you see that game, Aaron Jones, he had 4 touchdowns in that game. I think that they're going to start establishing the run a lot, especially with A.J. Dillon there. I think they're going to try to take some pressure off of Rodgers, but, I expect him to have a huge game on the road this week.
Yeah, all right. I love it. Moving on, we have the Indianapolis Colts making their way to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Now I'm going to go with the Colts just the way they've been playing. For them, they have to win this game if they want to keep their playoffs alive. There's a few scenarios in which they don't make it. It requires a lot of losses and even possibly a tie with the Raiders and the Chargers. But I think that this is definitely a winnable game for them. The way Jonathan Taylor's been playing all season, they're going to have Carson Wentz. They're going to have their team fully healthy. This is a must-win game. We saw, I think it was last year, when they opened up the season, they lost immediately to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they're going to get to flip the script this time and get a win at the end of the season to secure a playoff spot against Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I think that they got to do here and just run Jonathan Taylor down and just try to keep everybody healthy on this Colts team, because if they do make the playoffs, they're going to be a dangerous team, in my opinion. The whole thing about everyone saying this week, Jacksonville, they've had the Colts number every time they've gone there the last 6 times. So it's a lot to prove for Indianapolis, but they're a different team this year. They got, Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman, Darius Leonard, if TJ Watt wasn't having the season he was having, Darius Leonard is definitely up there. This Colts defense is legit. They're favored by 15. Hard not to go with them. I'm going to stick with the Colts as well.
All right, I love it. Another NFC North battle when the Chicago Bears make their way to Minnesota to take on my Vikings. I'll go with the Vikings just because I want us to win. I just want to end the season with the win. Last week was so tough to swallow, to lose like that in Green Bay, and I would hate to end the season with the huge loss to Green Bay where we just got destroyed, and then we lose to the Bears. That would just leave a really sour taste in my mouth personally as a fan. So I'm pulling through for the Vikings. We are getting Kirk Cousins back off the COVID list, so that is a huge boost for us. And honestly, might be Mike Zimmer's last game. Let's just get a win for Zim. I like him. I hope he's not gone. But if he's gone, nothing I can do about it. So let's get possibly his last win as a Minnesota Viking head coach.
Yeah, and definitely a tough break for the Vikings last week. Just the timing, Sean Mannion, just Aaron Rodgers on the other side. It's just very tough. I think that this is a great opportunity for your team to kind of show out the Bears. The Bears right now, obviously, put a lot into Justin Fields. A lot of injuries had happened. The whole Allen Robinson thing this year. When you look at the Vikings, honestly, I think that they're trying to let it fly this week. Try to get KJ Osborne. Some big things. He's developed so great this year. Justin Jefferson, we talk about Cooper Kupp out of break, Calvin Johnson's receiving record, and we look at that and we say, wow, he's having such a great season. Justin Jefferson right now, second in, receiving yards, very impressive, 1,509 yards on the air, 103 catches right now. That is something that, you have
all
to
career
respect.
Bests.
Yeah. And he's going down and he's going to keep doing that. And what a better way to do it when he's, probably not too happy about the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right. Our last game at 1:00 for the regular season, the Tennessee Titans making their way to Houston to face the Texans. Tennessee right now, first place in the AFC in seeding. We would run through Tennessee, assuming that they win in this game and that everyone else, and especially like the Chiefs, lose. I'm going to go with Tennessee. The Texans are a very beatable team, as we've seen all season. They've shown some great flashes with David Mills, which is great. And obviously, I think you have to be aware of Brandon Cooks and what he does throughout the game. He is the lifeblood of their passing offense for sure. But Tennessee wants to keep it going through. Tennessee is a very beatable team. We saw Derrick Henry running at practice this week. It's looking he's not going to be in for this game, but he is ready for the playoffs. And fully healthy Tennessee Titans offense with home field advantage sounds amazing. And I would love that. So Tennessee, please win and get this home field advantage so we can see a Chiefs Titans game in Tennessee and Derrick Henry running all over the place.
Yeah, I want the Yeti. I want him unleashed, but I definitely want him to get the extra couple of weeks of relaxation. But like you said, when this Tennessee offense is all together, all healthy, Ryan Tannehill has been to the playoffs with this team before. Mike Vrabel's been to the to playoffs with this team before, and they have upset a couple of big teams. And I'm ready now. This is when they get hot. I think that it's time to go get it. Ryan Tannehill threw 4 interceptions last time they played.
Yep. Flip the script.
And I think it's all Titans all the way.
Yep. I love it. Tighten up for sure. They can't let it happen like what happened in November with a surprise loss. And you know what? Having AJ Brown though in this one will be huge for them. We've seen he was in for that game, but he's just been such a big factor for Tannehill, and you're going to see this offense is clicking now. He's back in the fold for them. So yeah, I think you got to go Tennessee. Again, just really want to see it going through Tennessee in the playoffs. I think that'd be so much fun. But that's all the time that you're going to say.
I was going to say just get your guy AJ Brown going. That's all I need.
That's my guy. It's been a my guy. All right. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. That's all the time that we have.
Yeah, enjoy it. Big week 18 games. Fantasy champions, enjoy your life. Second placers, sorry about that. Just enjoy it. Week 18, fantasy people, keep your put your good fantasy championship to week 17 though.
Yeah, weird that you did that, but good luck anyway.
But always check us out, justsayingfootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube. Playoff content coming soon. Check us out, Just Saying, no GWJS on Instagram for all your video article updates throughout the playoffs. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Enjoy.